Hi, air signs. This is Tara. Welcome to your November 8th through your November 15th Psychic Tarot weekly forecast. And I'm pulling two cards for each sign and looking at my crystal, into my crystal for additional guidance. And also, you guys, thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing, Google Plusing my videos. I encourage you to do so if you have not. All right, so two cards. I'm starting with Libra. All right, and there's a couple cards that want to come out from the top. Let's see what they are. Okay, so the first card is the King of Rods. Okay, well, the King, let's start off with the rods. The rods have to do with taking action. The rods have to do with activity, our will to go, our whatever we put into action. It's a fire sign too, relates to the fire signs, which is Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. And this is a king. So the king is all about a very mature man. He has seen a lot of battles in his lifetime. He has learned a lot. He's been through many situations to where he's overcome them. So he's very distinct and into a good place. So I feel like a lot of you guys are you're putting in some pretty hard work, and you have a plan of action. And let's see what stands out for me in this card for you is really this the orange around him. So I feel like you're being creative. I think you're trying to find new ideas, new ways. You've had a plan in action, but you want to revitalize it, revisit it. How can I make it more constructive for myself? I see wheels in motion. So you're thinking a lot about this, although this is a rod card, but you're wanting to, and you've had some success. So I would say continue with what successes you're having, because the king came up and he's been through a lot. He's had a lot of battles, and yet he's gotten to the point to where he feels like he's pretty set in place. So keep those wheels in motion. Whatever some of you guys are doing that is maybe feels like it's taking a little bit longer than it should, I'm feeling like, stay on that road, stay on that track, whether it's a project, and it may be a creative project. So, or you're creating writing, or you're doing something like that, stay on that road. The second card that come out, okay, well, this is interesting, is the Five of Pentacles. Okay, well, Pentacles have to do with our money, our finances, our property, and this card in particular, the five, has to do with instability around money, or what I feel like it more is a fear around your finances. So some of you that are like, I don't know if I'm going to meet all the bills this month, make it for this month's guidelines and projects and all that, which have to do with putting more money into. I feel like, it's something that you're going to get help with. So try not to worry about that, because I do feel like that you have someone else to help you, or this, energetically and spiritually, the universe is looking out for you, really, is what I feel like. So it may be time to take a little bit of a rest. I'm looking into this card and seeing you have help. Help is coming to you. So just remember to, the king came up first, and he's the King of Rods. He's been through a lot of action. He's seen a lot of things, and he's now pretty content with where he is. So with this card coming up, just make sure that you don't take on that fear too much. Like, is this going to come out? Is this going to work? Am I going to make money from this? Well, just keep going is what I'm feeling. Just keep going for you guys. And I'm going to look into my crystal and see wow. Okay, well, this is interesting. Every time I hold it up, it's something different. This is interesting. It's a bright, more of a yellow, more of a gold, sorry. In the middle of the crystal, which is more like a plank, and it really is very lit up, like it's trying to support you. I feel like we were talking about support a minute ago, that you do have support. You have some support from other people, and I feel like you have support from the universe. I do feel like it's time to stay with your own leadership, your own counsel. But I do feel like there's people to bounce off of and get support from. So this week, you guys just make sure that you remember that you're in a good place. Actually, you're doing quite a bit. A lot of you. This is a general reading, of course, but you're doing quite a bit. So don't beat up on yourself. Take some downtime if you need to, and just kind of keep the ball rolling. Okay. All right. Thank you, Libra. Have a great week, and I will see you next week. Okay, so now we are on to Gemini. Hey, Gemini. This is Tara. Welcome to your, November 8th through the 15th weekly Psychic Tarot forecast. I'm pulling 2 cards in addition to looking into my crystal for guidance. So let's see what Gemini, well, there's a few, but you know what's interesting? Okay, all right. Let's see what we get out of this. Okay, so your first card, Gemini, for this particular week is the Ace of Rods. All right, so the Ace of Rods is really your beginning to take action. This is a beginning, and this is really like, you're kind of excited about some new things that are coming around. I'm looking at this card, and I'm just feeling like, the rods have to do with taking action, with being in a place of being prepared. I don't know why that came up around this, because I think things are getting ready to unfold for you. You've had a lot of changes, it feels like, recently, so you're looking into new horizons. And in fact, if you look at this card, this is like looking into a horizon. Let's see, this is the Ace. So like I said, it is something that is very new for you, or a new way of doing what you are doing now. There's a lot of spirituality or psychicness or something, the metaphysical, holistic, that comes along with this when you take that action. It feels like there's a big brightness around this idea. I think it's an idea more than anything. That you could take action on this particular week, or begin to take action on, or it's a new idea you want to take action on. And I think it would be very, very, very promising, because what comes up now, wow, is the World card. Okay, so the World card is a major arcana card, of course, and it's saying, all this promise or this wish is fulfilled. This decision you make, this plan you put into action, there is fulfillment there. And so it feels like to me, you guys, that you're coming up with something special this week. You're coming up and you're writing out ideas that will enable you to further your career like 3 to 5 years out. And it feels particularly for this week. So that is a great card to see. Okay. Awesome. Let me look into my crystal and see. Well, I'm getting a couple things for you guys. Of course, you're Gemini, so I'm going to see a couple things, right? On one hand, it's very, I'm seeing yellow and white. So, I was talking about the white a minute ago. I feel like there is some spirituality around what you're doing, or maybe it just fulfills your inner guidance. It also could be, too, with listening to any psychic intuition. You all feel you have your angels around you, whatever that is, because I'm getting a lot of that with this particular reading, with looking into the crystal. And a lot of yellow, but actually, which is happy and momentum and going places with your ideas. Okay, Gemini. All right. I hope you have a great week. Remember to subscribe and share and like. I really appreciate that you all have been doing that, and I will see you next week. All right. On to Aquarius. Hey, Aquarius. This is Tara, and welcome to your November 8th through November 15th Psychic Tarot forecast. This is your weekly forecast, and I'm pulling 2 cards as I do. And okay, well, that's 2 right there. they wanted to come out. Remember too, you guys, to subscribe, share, and like my videos. And when you subscribe, they will come into your inbox so that you don't have to look around YouTube. They'll come right in. Okay, so let's look at your first card, Aquarius. All right, the Queen of Swords. Okay, so the Queen to me has, of course, it's about our thinking. She's very driven. She knows what she wants. The positive aspects about the Queen are she's very driven. She knows what she wants. She makes immediate decisions. She analyzes, she thinks about it, and then she's a mature woman. She's done it. She's puts it into action, the idea into action. The negative aspects of the Queen is she can be a little bit ruthless. So I'm going to actually turn over the other card because I want to see how they play out together. Okay, well, interesting. The Wheel of Fortune came up. All right. And so this is, Aquarius, this is a very interesting reading to me because the Wheel of Fortune is what it sounds like. It can be your fortune. It can be, things are coming together for you. It can feel really good. On this wheel, you remember on any wheel, there are times when things are going great, and there are times when things are more challenging. So the Queen of Swords came up first, and this is feeling like to be very, very decisive in your plan. I'm feeling from her for you to be very, very decisive because you're going to have a lot of good things come up. You're going to have some choices to be made, and I think she's wanting to tell you to, hey, you know what? Put on your thinking cap because this is a time when you can make a lot of, I'm hearing you can make a lot of money with what you're coming up with now. And really observe too, before you take too much action. I don't know why that's coming up out of this. There is a lot of strength in these two cards. And I'm looking at the Dove here. So the Dove is about peace, being peace with what action you take. Remember, don't come off too ruthless, but be decisive, and you will see some really good things come into play. That's awesome. Interesting. Very interesting reading. I'm going to look at my crystal. Okay, for you guys, there's sort of a round circle at the bottom of the crystal I'm looking at. It's a little bit slanted, and it's, well, it seems like a treasure chest. I want to go in there and just open it up and see what's inside this treasure chest for you. So this feels a lot like your work, your business, your whatever you do for a living, your money. Although no pentacles came up, but it does feel like you're going to be making some decisive business decisions, job decisions, something like that. I think there's a lot of opportunity out there for you. I would be not ruthless, the negative part, but very decisive in what you want to do, because then the Wheel of Fortune can come up and that can mean fortune. All right. Thank you, Aquarius. You all have a wonderful week. Again, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next week.